Good evening and welcome to your Monday, June 24, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. President Ali urges regional distillers to cooperate to take blends to international markets. Government actively working to reopen RUSAL operations in BERBICE River, says BHARRAT. Parents ecstatic as fast and efficient distribution of 45,000 cash grant begins. Load shedding needed to prevent total collapse of DBIS, says GPL, and government to clamp down on importation of counterfeit drugs. Now for the news in detail. In commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, a special rum blend bringing together rums from around the region was unveiled, during which President Dr. Irfan Ali urged regional distillers to work together to penetrate international markets. Jarl Bryan reports.
The Caribbean Community CARICOM celebrated its 50th anniversary on July 4, 2023, and on Monday, a special rum blend was unveiled to belatedly mark this occasion. The rum blend, which was introduced by Guyana's Demerara Distillers Limited (DDL), brings together the flavors of 3 different rum stills. According to CARICOM Chairman President Dr. Irfan Ali, this is one area where regional distillers can work together to penetrate new international markets.
One of the things that I believe the CARICOM distillers should do in celebration of their own integration in this 50th year is to come together and find ways in which collectively we can penetrate a regional brand carrying all our products in the international market. And that, I think, would help us, because if we have one marketing corporation or one marketing entity, one advertising entity that we collectively hire to take our collective brand into new markets, then the operational costs comes down, the marketing cost comes down, the logistics cost comes down, and it improves our competitiveness.
The head of state also made a call for distillers to set up common warehouses and transportation systems in much the same way as countries are pursuing regional integration.
So if we don't want to do it for the regional market, we should have a common warehouse, a common transportation system through which collectively we target the new markets. And I think that is something, Komal, that you guys should get. If you can't integrate your blend, then you can integrate your ideas and your brains in going after new markets through a collective mechanism that makes you competitive.
Guyana has already earned almost $35 million from rum and spirit exports in 2022, and according to President Ali, this demonstrates how big the industry is locally.
In Guyana, in 2022, exports of bottled rum and spirits earned our country almost $35 million. And bulk alcohol brought in export revenue of $19.3 million. That tells you how huge the industry is here.
There is actually a West Indies Rum and Spirits Producers Association, WIRSPA, that was once chaired by DDL Chairman Komal Samaru. In his address, Samaru gave insight into the work that went into producing the blend.
We started out to think how we could put a little bit of each one of our product in a final product. And that got nowhere. And so we finally said, let's each one of us do our own thing. It shows how difficult integration is. One component of this blend is from the IFLOT French Saval still. That was a still that was installed at IFLOT over 50 years ago. It operated there, and it made by a French company. Saval is their brand name. The second component came from the Diamond Coffee still. This is a still that is produced in Scotland. The name coffee came from an Irish customs officer who invented the continuous distillation process. And the third one is from the Port Morant double wooden pot still. This is very unique to Guyana. Nowhere in the world is a still of this nature existing.
Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
Years after Russian-owned bauxite company RUSAL shut down its operations in Guyana, the PPP-led government is actively trying to have the activities in the BERBICE River restarted. This commitment was restated by Minister of Natural Resources BHARRAT, who explained that the current administration is working assiduously to rebuild the local bauxite industry. Here is Andrew Carmichael with this story.
RUSAL's Bauxite Company of Guyana Incorporated (BCGI) subsidiary left Guyana in February 2020 amidst industrial unrest from the workers, terminating 326 employees in the process. Prior to the decision to leave, BCGI was facing difficulties that included low production. In addition, when the company had initially announced its decision to terminate workers, it had stated that it was experiencing difficulties after the former government ended its duty-free arrangements for fuel. In fact, the former Partnership for National Unity Alliance for Change (APNU-AFC) government was severely criticized for its handling of the issue and its failure to protect the interests of hundreds of bauxite workers who were left jobless following the company's decision to leave Guyana. But several months later, when the new People's Progressive Party administration assumed the government, the company was engaged in negotiations with the government about returning. To date, no decision has been made, but Minister of Natural Resources BHARRAT told reporters on Monday that the matter is still being actively pursued by the government.
We have been exploring options. We have been speaking with different companies to see how we can get this operation reopen and to go back into production. That is still ongoing. As of now, there is no concrete decision or position with regards to reopening of RUSAL operation in the BERBICE River. But I want to assure you it is still on our agenda. It is still something that we are being discussed, and it's still our intention to operationalize that mine once again at some point in time in the near future.
Minister Barrett had previously explained that the bauxite industry dwindled by over 40% under the former government. On Monday, he emphasized that the sector is being rebuilt by the PPP administration.
The bauxite industry is being rebuilt, and we have seen increased production in the bauxite industry, and the bauxite industry is even poised to expand even more through the expansion work and investment that is happening at Boite in Linden. Only recently we would have licensed a remnant deposit, a new small deposit to the bauxite company to boost their production.
The Natural Resources Minister also provided an update on government's effort to develop the Tarakuli area, which is one of the largest bauxite deposits remaining in Guyana that is of high quality and untouched.
We do have a large deposit of bauxite in it is called the Tarakuli area, which is in the Quarantine River, opposite Suriname. Fortunately, Suriname also has a deposit on the opposite side of the Quarantine River. So Guyana has a deposit, Suriname has a deposit, so we are looking at ways in which we can collaborate with Suriname to maybe do extraction and refining as well too. Because as you're aware, Guyana and Suriname, we have discoveries, large deposits of gas. Suriname, of course, have a large deposit of gas. So setting up or having a refinery that is an alumina plant is possible now with gas being a cheaper source of power or energy. In the past, there was a hindrance, but now it's more possible. So we have been looking at areas to collaborate with Suriname in developing that resources, but to date, no decision was taken as yet. It's just in the discussion state.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Today, the government began the countrywide distribution of the $45,000 cash grant for students in both public and private educational facilities. The Evening News' Michael Henry and Kamesi Slow visited some of the distribution sites in Georgetown, where parents lauded the process as fast and efficient. Let's have a look.
The first phase of the Because We Care cash grant successfully kicked off Monday across the country. The Evening News caught up with some parents in Georgetown who expressed how the $45,000 per child will assist them in sending their children to school. At Tutorial High School, This newscast spoke with Pasanti Baldio, who explained how she will be spending the money.
The crash grant, happy for the crash grant. Lots of books and school uniform and bags and so, big buy. And, yes, big, huge, they come up with big money because a lot of them can get it, like 15 or 100 of them get. So the minister, he gave him more, 5,000 for the uniform and the 40,
Not too far away at F.E. Pollard Primary, another parent, Clifton Singh, lauded the efficient distribution process.
I came here and I received my grant in less than 5 minutes. The process is very fast and effective. I came, the front desk, they told me where to go, and when I got there, the teacher was very nice, and the process is very fast. I didn't spend 10 minutes to receive my cash grant, and the 45,000, when I do the calculation, will be able to assist me to fully attire my child to school in September with the complete uniform, bag, books, everything. This 45,000 will equip a child to go to school, so there is no burden on the parents when it comes to sending the child out in September.
Meanwhile, at the Bel Air Primary School, parent Jared Norville explained how he will budget the funds for his child.
And I'm thankful for the cash grant because it's been helpful a lot for the kids and so on. And I hope to see other parents think the same about it too, because it's been a great help. I will buy my son's necessary that he needs for school, and the rest, the remains, I'll put it up for him in case they have any assignment or so on, come up that you can use it to assist in that way.
Meanwhile, ministers fanned out across the country to oversee the distribution exercise in various districts. Minister of Tourism Onij Walron was at the Bel Air Primary School, where she restated government's commitment to increasing the grant for $50,000 per child.
When we got into office in 2020, we promised that we will restore the cash grant and that every year it will increase incrementally until 2025, where it will be $50,000 per child.
This year, the Because We Care cash grant will benefit 205,000 children countrywide. Michael Henry.
Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael joins us now to report on the distribution exercise in Region 6. In this report, we hear that systems have been put in place to cater for those parents who are unable to uplift the grants, as per the Ministry of Education's schedule.
Almost 23,000 students in Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine, are expected to benefit from the cash grants, 3,331 at the nursery level, 10,633 at the primary level, and 7,390 at the secondary level. Additionally, more than 1,500 students attending private schools will also benefit. Natural Resources Minister Vikram BHARRAT oversaw the distribution exercise in the region.
When this program would have started in 2013, 2014 under our administration, the PUP Civic Administration, it was only for students attending public schools. Unfortunately, 2015 to 2020, it was disbanded by the then administration, and we had promised that once elected, we will restart the cash grant program for students and also to increase it. What we have done too is recognize that there are many students attending private schools throughout the country, and there should be no discrimination or differentiation between students attending public and private schools. So the government has made a conscious decision that we are going to extend this cash grant to students attending private schools as well. So that, I must say that I'm very happy and pleased, being also an educator who was in the private sector.
Monday's distribution was only for students attending government schools. The Education Department in the region says students attending private schools will have their cash grants available from Friday. Meanwhile, Minister BHARRAT noted that arrangements have been put in place for those who have been unable to uplift their cash grants as per the schedule outlined by the Education Ministry.
The Ministry of Education will continue the program. There are other days when they will be going to different schools. I believe a system is being put in place that you can visit those other areas or other schools that they're distributing or you can visit the education office. That is the REDO will be responsible. So I will ask the parents who miss the date at their school that they make contact with the respective education officer within the district, or if possible the REDO, so that they can have that cash dispersed to them.
I have 4 children. Yes, I'm looking good. I have 4 children. I'm collecting 3 cash grants though, but I have 4 children. One is a little baby.
What is that going to do for children's education? This is what we collected today.
Oh, well, they'll be aiding in some school supplies along with their textbooks because my son is writing the National Grade 6 exam next year. So it will be helping him getting some textbooks and whatever other stationery necessities that he may need and his brothers and sisters need too.
I'm collecting for 3 children, and well, the money comes for the children, so if I spend it on the children, I buy school uniform, and that left over, I will use it on things like to put in a school bowl and stuff like for them go to school.
And how you feel about this because of your cash grant initiative?
Well, I'm very grateful for it. Well, it's a good help out.
What will you be doing with the money?
Well, the money I just use up to buy school things for she. So I got buy a computer for the granddaughter. I got buy a phone for the grandson. So I thank very much for the money the government give out. I got buy school clothes for them.
The last time you get how much did you get the last time?
80. Yes.
And what you did with the last?
I buy computer for the grandson. The last one I must buy some school clothes for them. And keep the balance to buy fine things. You gotta buy fine things and the way socks and everything for them.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
While many Guyanese complain about the inconvenience of load shedding, it is actually necessary to prevent the collapse of the entire power system. This is according to Guyana Power and Light Systems and Operations Manager Navin Dionarayan. Gerald Bryan tells us more.
The state media was recently given a behind-the-scenes look at the Guyana Power and Light GPL's Operations Center, where the BERBICE Interconnected System DBIS is managed. Systems and Operations Manager Navin Dionarayan explained the efforts being undertaken to keep the DBIS afloat. He spoke about the use of specific software that logs the fluctuation in power countrywide.
This tells us, for example, this is the amount of generation we have available. Yeah. So this plot here comes from that data that the operator enters, which he receives from power plants. And this line shows us the demand, right? So you see, for example, at 12 last night and in the early mornings, we have some space, meaning there is some amount of reserve capacity.
When the demand for power overtakes the DBIS's reserve capacity, it becomes necessary to do load shedding, also known as opening a feeder.
When we say open a feeder, it means that at the substation, there's a circuit breaker there, similar to what you have in a house, but a bigger version, that supplies power to the lines that we see running along the roadways. And of course, there are multiple transformers connected to those lines on poles, and then we as customers get power from those transformers. So once we open that circuit breaker at the substation, that line goes out, so essentially the customers don't receive power anymore. It is absolutely necessary because that's how we manage the frequency and keep the system alive. If we don't do this, then the entire system may collapse, thus everyone is out of power.
When it comes to ensuring that generators are in the best working conditions, he revealed that they have now been afforded more time to do maintenance. This, according to Dionarayan, is due to the 36 megawatt power ship that was recently added to the grid.
We have not taken out feeders because of generation shortfalls since the introduction of that ship. All right. This has given us some comfort presently in relation to being able to carry out maintenances on other generators. For instance, currently we have like 2 generators down for maintenance as we speak.
Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Coming up, 3 found dead in minibus stuck on Mabura Trail and mother of 3 stabbed to death by reputed husband. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions light intelligent lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
You can tell from the crowd who's up next. It's Premier's star player, whose world-class stats put him in a league of his own. Premier's rise to stardom has been one for the record books. The first team to get a GY A+ rating. They boast a strong solvency and A-class service. Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing Premier's financial and technical strength that is out of this world.
Premier. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch, so tasty. What a catch, with a caramel center. What a catch, and so much chocolate, ooh yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, but so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel, ooh yeah. What a catch, oh, what a catch, you know we love you. What a catch, oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, what a catch.
At Gaffurs, we have the locks to keep your home and family safe from intruders. Get security with Toledo and Dura door locks, made in the USA and Canada. They fit most doors 1 3/8 to 1 3/4 inch thick, with a 2 3/8 to 2 3/4 inch back set. Gaffurs also has the popular Yale brand, with competitive prices in various styles and finishes. You can also get weatherproof padlocks by Yale and Toledo in sizes 30mm to 70mm. So get top brand, durable and affordable locks to keep you safe day and night from Gaffurs Macdoom Mega Complex and outlets at Parika, Means, Land of Canaan, Betawacting, Rose Hall, Kanji and Diamond. Gaffurs, the name you.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The Ministry of Health has warned that pharmacies and other medical outlets that sell antibiotics without prescriptions, as well as counterfeit drugs, would be shut down. The warning was sounded by Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, who noted that the government will be embarking on stronger measures aimed at ensuring the local pharmaceutical industry operates in line with international standards. Trishul Sobers reports.
The move to shut down the operation of medical outlets that sell antibiotics without prescriptions is part of efforts to eliminate the illegal importation and distribution of harmful medication in Guyana, especially those that have the potential to increase antimicrobial resistance in patients who should be taking prescribed drugs for various health issues. According to Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, oftentimes products are imported and used in Guyana without being examined for indicators of adverse effects. He was at the time speaking during an event on Sunday to commemorate the Commonwealth Pharmacy Week. During the event, which was attended by pharmacists and pharmaceutical representatives, it was also noted that several doctors were found guilty of contributing to antimicrobial resistance by not prescribing the mandated drugs for treating tuberculosis, among others. Dr. Anthony explained that thankfully the Health Ministry was able to import other medications to reverse the symptoms those patients were privy to.
As we move to put stricter supervision in place, if you don't change this type of behavior, then we might have to close you down and use the full force of the law We have had cases in this country where we have seen patients who have developed resistance to many of the medications that we have. And if we are going to continue this indiscriminate use of antibiotic, we are only going to accelerate the development of antimicrobial resistance.
Dr. Anthony further reminded that the act of soliciting unprescribed antibiotics and generic counterfeit drugs are not only a clear violation of existing legislation, but also dangerous to the lives of patients. On this point, he noted that while preventing counterfeit drugs from entering Guyana is difficult, the new medicine regulation bill will tighten loose ends in the healthcare system.
We also want to take a firmer stand on falsification of medications because we do have, and it's a global problem, where medicines are being counterfeit. And so one of the challenges, if you have counterfeit medication in the system, it can create problems in management of patients. And so this is something we want to make sure that we are removing from our system or reducing it substantially.
The Medicine Regulation Bill is one of the first piece of framework needed to raise the standard of the country's Food and Drug Administration. With the implementation of this new bill, importers of these drugs will be mandated to conduct separate monitoring for adverse reactions and report the necessary information to the Health Ministry. The pertinent piece of legislation will also cater for the prosecution of pharmacies and doctors who issue antibiotics without the necessary prescription. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Trishelle Sobers joins us again to report that in a bid to centralize the level of care being provided to persons who require rehabilitation services, the Guyana government is mulling plans to establish a one-stop rehab facility. Here is more.
The interest to construct a one-stop rehab facility in Guyana was signaled on Sunday by Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony during his ministry's 19th Rehab Week celebration. Rehabilitation therapy and treatment for chronic diseases are currently being conducted at different primary healthcare facilities across the country. The health minister highlighted that a significant percentage of disabilities are caused by the adverse effects of illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension. Dr. Anthony believes that given the link between the two services, it is best to have them being administered under one roof, which will eliminate the need for referrals and multiple follow-ups. He explained that this move will allow the ministry to also better monitor various conditions and put better data management systems in place to properly care for patients.
I think that is something that we have to work on to make sure that our patients get improved services. So over the next couple of months, we'll try to do that, and hopefully when we come again here next year, we can say that we have implemented this service so that we can see improvement in how we manage our patients that have these chronic diseases.
Meanwhile, Director Rehabilitation and Disability Services Dr. Arian Mangar spoke about ongoing efforts to digitize the ministry's rehabilitation services. Among the interventions is a patient satisfaction app, which will be launched in coming weeks to ramp up data collection efforts, among other things.
And we'll be able to gather from that real-time data to understand what is happening in the various departments throughout the country. And this will ultimately help us to improve the quality of service that we're providing to our patients. We'll also start piloting the rehab electronic medical record system at the PALMS from next week.
This year's Rehab Week runs from June 23rd to 28th and is being observed under the theme celebrating the transformative triumphs and successes that individuals achieve through their rehabilitation journey. Rehab Week is geared at promoting the value and importance of rehabilitation and celebrate professionals involved in providing rehabilitation and disability services to those in need. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Following a fire on Saturday afternoon at Weldad Village, West Coast BERBICE, Region 5, which left 12 persons homeless, the family is making plans to get back on their feet but desperately needs public assistance. Andrew Carmichael has that story.
The Saturday afternoon fire flattened the Lot 22 Weldad Village two-story building, and family members were unable to save anything but their lives and the clothing they were wearing at the time. A construction crew that was passing at the time was able to remove an electric bike from the burning building. On Sunday, when this newscast visited the site, was being cleared with the aid of an excavator. A family of 12 was displaced as a result of the fire. One of the victims, Yolanda Reynolds, says while the focus now is on rebuilding, they are unable to do it on their own.
My mother is a single parent, is 7 children, all we are. So we just work in the interior, trying to work with people, we do what we gotta do. But you have to spend months in the interior before you could gain a little. So we just try it now. We come home, but everything that I come with gone. I come home because my cousin died in the interior up in Linden. I left everything I come with just also to the funeral, and in the height of the funeral, I get news of the house on fire.
Her 64-year-old mother, Marlene Fraser, was on her phone playing a game when she sensed that something was burning. She asked a grandchild to go and investigate. The child returned and stated that smoke was coming from one of the bedrooms.
I take time to get up. I can't just jump up and go. Because of the knee, I gotta take time. So I get up, and when I go and push the room door, the mattress, it burning, it blazing, but not big. So I said, God, and what I did, run in the room and pick it up. Because I was saying I don't even care if I break up all the over window, but I push it through the window. But as soon as I raise up the mattress, you know, if it's a hair or look at it started blaze. So I put it down back and run to the kitchen. I'm looking for bucket for full water. I see nothing. So I tell them, I said, come and bring bucket for me. And them two, you know, they're running around. Everybody get confused. So I took my carpet that was on my kitchen floor and I take it to the sink, and it takes some time to soak. Which when I come back and push the room door, say, I said, I'm going to spread the carpet over wherever blazing. So when I push the room door, oh my God, the heat back me back out, so. And me make a second attempt because I was still feeling it out there. So I just threw the carpet down and I tell the children run. 2 guys stop with that canter truck, and it's them coming. But then the fire they blazing inside of the back. But in the hall or so where I was sitting or anything, it wasn't blazing. It took a time for the all of the catch. And the men they see the motorbike downstairs in the veranda and so on, they move that. But otherwise, I sit on the road corner there and watch that entire house. Upstairs, engulfing flames before it come down and burn the bottom flat. That
Just asking for assistance who could assist, if them could help assist to build we back.
What are some of the things you think you might need?
A load of sand, everything, sand, brick, stone, cement, everything.
The family can be contacted on telephone number 663-1430. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
The lifeless bodies of 3 people were discovered on Sunday in a minibus that was stuck in a pothole along the Mabura Trail in Region 10. The victims have been identified as the driver, Leon Achi, of Anai Region 9, and Rifa Bavel of Linden. The third victim is Vincent Albert Fawcett. The discovery was made at approximately 9 hours 40 on Sunday at 28 miles Mabura Trail. Preliminary investigations reveal that the minibus bearing registration number BAC 7350 appeared to have been stuck in a deep pothole with its rear submerged. The vehicle's engine was running and all windows were locked at the time of the discovery. Police suspect that the victims may have slept on the bus overnight. An examination of the body showed no visible marks of violence. A post-mortem examination found that the trio died as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. Meanwhile, a mother of 3 was brutally stabbed to death on Saturday evening by her drunken reputed husband after she reprimanded him for his frequent alcohol consumption. The lifeless body of 34-year-old Anurada Katood, also known as Mama, a fruit vendor, was found in the living room of her Best Village, West Coast Demerara home. The suspect had gone into hiding but has since been arrested. Based on reports received, Katoon and the suspect, a 30-year-old fisherman, had been in a common law relationship for the past 5 years, living together in Katoon's house along with her 3 children from a previous relationship. On Saturday evening, the suspect returned home under the influence of alcohol and was scolded by Katoon to ease on the alcohol drinking. This resulted in a heated argument during which the suspect became enraged, armed himself with a knife, and stabbed Katoon in the throat. As such, the injured woman collapsed in the living room area. The woman's 12-year-old son, who was awakened by his mother's screams, immediately raised an alarm. She was taken to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. During an inspection of the body, 1 stab wound was observed to the throat. The Evening News understands that the suspect had been arrested twice for abusing Katoon but was subsequently released on both occasions. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, June 25, 2024 at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, June 25, 2024 at 6 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours.
West Indies crashed out of World Cup with loss to South Africa, and ExxonMobil U14 semi-finalists decided. Details of these stories and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Did you know Guy Super 95 gasoline has an octane rating of 95, the highest rating available in Guyana? This premium fuel is known to enhance the performance of your engine, making it run smoother and more efficiently, leading to better fuel economy and improved performance. Choose Super 95 for more mileage and better overall performance.
Mechanics, Sylvie's has all the equipment you need to make your job easier and your business profitable. Visit our 31 High and Hatfield Street store and choose from our wide array of shop presses, engine hoists, oil drain pans, parts washers, jack stands, bottle and floor jacks, hand tools, and much more. Can't make it to the store? Shop online at sylviesonline.com and have it delivered. Call or WhatsApp 623-7755 for more info.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Make your home look great with sash windows from Gaffurs. They're fitted with 4mm thick glass, with a male and female frame that's easy to join. Comes with a built-in mosquito screen. You can adjust the opening for ventilation to suit yourself. and it has a safety locking mechanism too. Yes, Gaffur's sash windows not only look good, they've got all the great features that make them the best design in windows anywhere. Get Gaffur's sash windows for the perfect fit and finish for your home from the MacDoom Mega Store and Gaffur's outlets of Parika, Means, Land of Canaan, Rose Hall, Beatty, Kanji, and Diamond. Call 223-9896 for more information anytime. Gaffur's, the name you can trust.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.